Y'all know what's coming, man. Y'all know what's coming.
Doomsday.
Doomsday's coming.
Doomsday's coming.
It's gonna be in those days when we don't have all this, when we don't have the panel and we can't hang like this, and there's all hell breaking loose, and I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna remember the night because I got to sat back. I sit back, I listen to y'all talk, man, and I just pay attention and I'm taking it all in because this is what I'm gonna need to look back on when I'm sitting up against a tree and I just took out 10 motherfuckers and I don't know if I'm next, and I'll just sit back and I'll think about tonight and how we hung out on this live stream.
That wasn't depressing at all.
You know what's strange though that we don't talk about too much is that every plan that they've ever had throughout history, through everything that the elites or the more powerful or the kings and queens and all them, everything they've ever tried to do, it's always fallen down. So no matter what these people think they're smart and they're gonna fucking do this and they're gonna do that, there's gonna be a lot of shit that gets in the way and the shit's just gonna crumble and fall down. No plan's gonna work. It never has. That's why empires have fallen, all of them.
It's our turn. Yeah.
It really is.
It's our turn, bro. I think this society here is doomed to collapse.
We are collapsing.
Yeah,
I think the entire world right now is in the beginning of a huge collapse.
Yeah, it seems like the third world countries are they're starting to really riot and loot because they can't get food, like they're starving.
Right.
And I think we might be like one of the last ones that really get affected, but it's coming our way. But Sri Lanka, and a couple other countries, bro, they're
I saw that with Sri Lanka. I was like, oh crap.
And, we don't believe in this and that, but have y'all thought about how much the media has changed? How 2 years ago they could scare us with little itty bitty shit, but the shit that's going on now, they won't even put information out about it. When it comes to this food shortage shit, hear me out. When it comes to this food shortage shit, they just tell us, oh, there might be some food shortages. Oh, there's going to be global famine. This, that, and this and that. But why the fuck ain't we seeing them going to the people who process our food and put our food together, and we get some information out of them of why this is happening? What is something that we can do as a nation or as a world to prevent this? What can we do to help this and stop it? They don't tell us that. They just tell us this is what you're going to deal with, and that's just how it is. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with this war going on. Do we hear anything out of Poland? Do we hear anything out of Finland? Do they go and interview anybody that's fucking living there? Do we ever get to hear from the Mexican people down at the border? No, we don't. The only fucking thing we hear is from these fucking elites. And we sit around and we talk about it. And it pisses me off because I feel like we're falling for the bullshit. Because they're not telling us the truth and we're just fucking following along with the media, man. And the shit has... I'm a very strong-minded person, believe me. My confidence is beyond the fucking clouds. But I'm not going to sit around and play games and act like ain't nothing going on when there's so much fucking evil going on right now. It's like we've never seen before. We have weapons of mass destruction. We don't have fucking balls that you shove down in a gun no more. We got one fucking bomb that'll take out a state. And we got a crazy motherfucker over there ready to use it. And we're sitting around worrying about bullshit. We're not taking it serious.
Press 1. Agreed. It's the calm before the storm. One day we're going to have it. One day we're not.
We're letting it happen, man. We're just letting this shit happen. And we'll be locked up or shot in the head or taken out if we stand up because there ain't enough of us. There ain't enough savages in the world to stand up against these fucking powers that keep doing this over and over and over again. And it just gets worse and worse. And was World War II worse than World War I? Fucking Vietnam fucking war was worse than World War I. And the shit we're about to get into? Shit.
Can't even imagine. Seriously, literally, you can't even imagine. We've all talked about this before. It's like, when does things go hot? Do we do it now while we still have food and our bellies are full and you know what I mean? Or do we wait till we're starving and we're fighting over it? You know what I'm saying? When do we do it? It's a slow burn, man. And
I think our moment is when our own corrupt government makes their move to suppress us. everything is trying to get us to fall into the Great Reset. Everything Tribe said, you know, all the distractions and everything they're doing at the border, everything they're doing in Ukraine, everything they're doing with cryptocurrency and trying to take us into super hyperinflation. I think it's all trying to push us into that Great Reset. And I think once they initiate some kind of collapse here in our country, that's our moment. That's when we react.
But see, that's the problem, is it's situational. Because me in Missouri, I'm not going to feel it anywhere near as bad as anybody in California, New York, or as bad as you guys, you know, on the East Coast.
Exactly.
To me, it ain't going to be a goddamn thing.
And I'm gonna just say this, man, and y'all feel me on this. Y'all are setting up get-togethers. You know what I'm saying? When really, if you ask me, we should be setting up communities. We should be making the move. What I'm saying is we might need to move a little faster here, man. We might need to make a real serious fucking move, man. Like all of us, we're all in these different places, but we're of the same mindset. Why couldn't we get together? We're wasting life, man. We're going to be gone. I'm almost 50. You know what I'm saying? Even if the shit didn't hit the fan, man, what the fuck are we doing, man? We're miserable. Not all of us. You know, some of y'all might be happy as a motherfucker, but man, this is life and this is Earth, man. We're supposed to be together and sharing and shit. Why? You know what I'm saying? We're so secluded. They got us divided and stripped of what the fuck humanism is, man.
Yeah, exactly. The craziness has been normalized. It's probably totally opposite from the way that we're supposed to be living as a spiritual human species on this planet. The system that they've set up, that is literally slavery at this point, is collapsing. So now they've got a plan to put us in even a worse situation, and it's kind of like, you know, we're preparing for the transition into that new form of slavery. It's the slow burn. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not hoping that things get so bad that we actually do start to rebel, but I don't know, man. They're indoctrinating the kids at this point.
See, that's exactly how it happens. You don't even realize it. It's just a piece here and there, and all of a sudden you're like, oh damn, this is my life now.
Or not, you know. Think about it, man. We really need to make these fucking connections, man. These are
show
important.
People, let's do this shit. Like, let's really do it. Let's not talk about it. Let's not be theoretical preppers. Let's get out there and do it and make connections. Tribe's right though. Sometimes you just gotta step out and make that plan. Prep and Plumber's right, man. And at the end of this year, we all might be living off our preps.
There's actually people who are already living off their preps. I saw a comment from a woman in another prepping group that I'm part of, and she said they've been prepping, but now it's gotten so expensive they can't, and they're actually having to tap into their preps. And she's kind of hates it because they can't really afford to replace. They're already going through their preps now.
I'll just say this real quick, and don't take this the wrong way because I'm gonna mention Charles Manson. But if you look at Charles Manson before they started slaughtering people, think about this, man. You're talking about a bunch of broke kids who had not a dollar to their name, and they ended up with a whole ranch and practically owned the motherfucker and had their own way of living for a couple months. You know what I'm saying? If motherfuckers like that, who are that fucking crazy and that fucking wild and that fucking young, could build a weird fucked up ass family as they did, imagine what we could do.
I'm seriously looking at taking that community idea and I'm going to shrink it down when I bring it back, but I'm going to try to actually make that happen, you know, like on a 10 or 15 acre scale. I'm going to try anyway. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Look at the Amish, man. Look how deep they are. You know what I'm saying? Look how much land they got. And I hate to say it. I mean, I'm not trying to be Amish. I don't believe in the, you know, the stuff that the Amish believe in as far as why they live that way. But there's no reason why we're already trying to live that way. You know,
I think we're coming to a moment where we're going to be facing guerrilla warfare constantly.
Yeah.
And the training you guys are just talking about and all the things that comes with it, like it's not just the combat part of it, but it's also the aspects of supplying those guerrilla combat units. You know, it's not just about having the weapons and the training and the ammo and all that stuff. Those soldiers need to eat. You know, they need people to repair their clothes. You know, they need people who know long-term medical stuff, all that stuff. All this stuff is important. And if you, even though you're not a combat soldier, if you're supporting a combat soldier, you're just as important, maybe even more so than that soldier himself who's on the front line.
You know, I see people native, they say, well, I'm in a wheelchair. Well, can you cook? Oh yeah, I can cook good.
That's right.
Okay.
Can you sew?
I mean,
Right. Exactly.
you're in. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, brother. If you're in a wheelchair, can you read? Can you study on certain topics that we need to learn about? Can you tell
Can you
other
operate
people?
the radio?
Right on.
There you go. There you go.
Right on.
I think we should be. I think we should be thinking seriously. I think we should be thinking Pastor Joe, Bear Independent, Amish, and I'm being serious. I mean, we're all just living our lives. We get on here, we talk about it a lot, but are we ready to make that jump? Are we ready to look at our family and say, hey, let's get to a spot with like-minded people and let's fucking have a life. And if the shit hits the fan, we'll be together and get it in.
And that's a big step, because once you do that, but once we get together, it's the real world. It's all our personalities and everything, and our hangups and everything that comes with being a real human being. We have to deal with that. We have to be able to accept each other. We have to be able to work through it and say, okay, if we're going to be a community, we have to work. We have to figure it out. We have to be together on everything. It's not going to be perfect and lollipops and all the time. It's going to be.
Look what they did with America. Look what they did with America.